name is Maria and welcome to my new Booktube channel. I'm so excited to be here, and for my first video I decided to answer the questions to the new to Booktube tag, which is a tag that I saw for the first time on Books with Emily Fox. She's quickly become one of my favorite booktubers here, and I saw her, well, I went through all of her videos, and so I saw this one and I thought it would be a great way to introduce myself, to have an introduction for the channel and things like that. I believe there's a similar tag also called the Booktube newbie tag, but I like the questions in this tag better, so I'm going to answer these. That doesn't mean that one tag is better than the other, it's just that I happen to like these questions more. I will be linking Emily's channel down below, and also the original maker of the tag, the original tag, down in the description box. So yeah, let's get started. The first question is, where are you joining us from? And I am from Louisiana. Originally I'm from Mexico, but I live in Louisiana now. Question number 2 says, how old are you? I am 24. Question number 3 says, why did you join Booktube? And honestly, it's because I was looking for a way to let out all these thoughts and all these feelings that I had after reading books. I don't really have many people around me who like to read, so I figured this community would be great for me to both share feelings about the books I've been reading and discover new books and new authors. I love books, I love talking about books, and I don't have anyone to talk about books with, so well, that's why I'm here. Question number 4 says, what is the meaning behind your channel's name? And honestly, I thought of the name Mia Paris when I was in middle school. I believe I was either in middle school or like a freshman in high school. Back then my friends would call me Mia instead of Maria, and Paris was just because I was so obsessed with everything French. I was learning French. I think it was in 2010 when I decided to make my Twitter, and I had that name in my head for like a really long time, so I just combined both when it was time for me to make my Twitter. It is my Instagram handle. It's also the name for my other Booktube channel here, which is in Spanish. Question number 5 says, what types of books do you like to read? And I kind of like reading a lot of everything. I do like YA, I do like historical fiction, fantasy, you know, magical realism. I also like some classics, and I mean, I like a bit of everything. Question number 6 is, who are your favorite authors? And I don't have one specific one. For a while there, I was obsessed with Paulo Coelho, and when people would ask me this question, I would automatically say his name. But then I realized that I've only read 2 books by him. I do have 2 copies of The Alchemist, because for like a year or 2 of my life, I was completely obsessed with this book. Not so much anymore. I mean, I still love it, and I mean, it's one of those books that, you know, it changed the way that I see things, and it changed a lot in me, but still, I think I read it at the right time of my life, because I have read other things by him that just haven't had the same effect on me. But also lately I've been really into Victoria Schwab. I love the way she writes, and if I'm going by the author whose books I've read the most, that would obviously be J.K. Rowling. And also I do like Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen. Question number 7 says, what's the last book you've read? And that would be Turtles All the Way Down. I just finished listening to it last night. And physical book, I read Eliza and Her Monsters. I just finished that a couple of days ago. Question number 8 says, what book are you currently reading? And that would be none other than The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So far so good. I haven't gotten that far into it. Like I said, I just started it last night, so we'll see how it goes. Question number 9 says, what do you use for bookmarks? And I use anything that I can get my hands on. I've used plane tickets, I've used ferry tickets, anything. Right now I am using Chuck E. Cheese tickets. Question number 10 says, show us your TBR pile. I don't really have a big TBR pile. I just kind of go and choose what I'm in the mood to read. But right now the one book I do want to get to after I finish The Cruel Prince is 3 Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. I hope I'm saying that right. I did start it, but then I started The Cruel Prince, and I'm going to finish The Cruel Prince, and then I'll finish this one. Question number 11 says, whether you prefer hardback or paperback. Either one doesn't make a difference to me. They both have the same thing on the inside. The story is what matters. I will say, you know, obviously hardcovers do look more pleasing on your bookshelves, but it doesn't really matter. I do have a whole stack here of like pocket paperback books. It's crazy. I would prefer a hardcover with a nice cover and everything, but if I can only get it on a paperback, then that's fine. Question number 12 says, ebooks or physical books? And I would say either one. I do like physical books because it feels nice when you're reading them, but I mean, ebooks are fine too. Like I said, it's It's all about what's inside. The next question is owning or borrowing books. And well, as much as I like to own my books, it can get expensive, and I'm not gonna miss out on reading a book just because I can't read it. So I do rent sometimes from the library, as you can see here. The next question says, and by the way, I messed up on the question numbers. I see that I skipped like 2 numbers. I went from like 12 to like, I went from like 11, and then I have 2 questions, and then it goes to 12. So yeah, my numbers are a mess. So I'm just gonna say next question, but I will leave all the questions down below just in case you're confused. The next question says, what series got you into reading? I think that the first series that like I binge read would have to be Twilight. I do have to give credit where credit is due, but I also remember very clearly, like around 6th, 7th grade, this series was very popular, which is a series of unfortunate events. The first series that I ever read, I would say series of unfortunate events, but there was like a long gap between this one and Twilight, so either one. The next question says, how did you discover Booktube? And I'm not 100%, I'm like 95% sure that this is how it happened, but I remember I was on YouTube looking at trailers for the then new City of Bones movie. That was a total chaos, and well, let's not talk about that. So I was on YouTube, I was looking at, you know how it goes, you go on YouTube and then you go down this rabbit hole and then you don't know where you wake up. That's what happened to me. I went in looking for trailers for City of Bones, and then I ended up in Booktube, which was a very pleasant surprise. The next question asks, what challenges do you see yourself facing? Something like that with this channel, and I would say probably time management. I have another channel in Spanish, but it's also Booktube, so I can talk about the same things. And I'm also trying to get a business degree, so the last question, which on my paper says is 15, but I think it might be 17, but there's also a possibility it might be 18. But last question, it says, where else can we find you? So like I mentioned, I do have another channel in Spanish. I will link it down below just in case. And the only social media that I use is Twitter and Instagram. I don't use Facebook, and I don't really use Snapchat anymore. So yeah, well, this is all for now. I'm really excited about this project. I hope that you guys stick around, and I hope to see you here very, very soon. Well, I'll see you next time. Have a great day.